So good morning, afternoon or evening everyone. My name's Alex Butler, I'm the Communications Assistant here at Adam Matthew. So today we are running a Black History Month webinar. We're going to be going through 3 Adam Matthew resources: Slavery, Abolition and Social Justice, American History 1493 to 1945, and then we're going to finish up with Popular Culture in Britain and America from 1950 to 1975. You can just see our Adam Matthew homepage at the moment. So we are going to start off with the first resource, which is Slavery, Abolition and Social Justice. So this is the homepage. So we're going to move into the introduction page here just to give you a bit of a flavour about the themes, the scope and the material for this resource. So this resource covers 500 to 600 years of slave narratives right through to modern day slavery. This is not just a transatlantic slavery resource. This is very much an all-encompassing primary source collection that focuses on from slavery across the globe. So if we scroll down here, we can just see some of the thematic areas that are focused on in the material. So we can see here the African coast is obviously so again, this isn't just America, it's focusing on it's got a global sense to it, I'll say. Okay, so let's get straight into the material. As I said, if you've got any questions about this, we're just focusing on 3 collections in 30 minutes today, so I can't go into anything in too much detail, but please feel free to drop me a question, or if there's anything you want to see search results for, let me know, because we can run searches for you now. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're in the documents list here. So this will explain. This will show all the material in the resource. So we can filter this by theme, region, document type, so different types of material, the source of the material. So these are all of the archives that contributed towards the resource, and also by date. But as we're focusing on Black History Month today, I thought it would be quite nice to look at some slave testimony material. So let's click on slave testimony. Okay, so let's click on this document here. This is a slave testimony from Mary Prince, who was a West Indian slave, and her testimony has been reprinted by a British publisher. So we can see here the document details page. We do pride ourselves in Adam Matthew. You'll see on the document details pages in the other 2 collections as well. We do pride ourselves on the metadata we provide for each of the documents. We have a big editorial team here, and they spend many hours going through the material meticulously and indexing it to make sure it's as searchable as possible. So let's click View Images to view the original pages. Let's just zoom out quickly. I just wanted to show you a couple of lines of the sort of the first page of the proper testimony here. I think it makes for great reading, and it's a fascinating document in this resource. Okay, so I'm just going to head back to the home page now. So we go back to the document details page, and then we can click just the title to head back. So I'm just going to head to the introduction page again. So we've seen some slave testimony material there. Another massive part of this resource is court records. And here, as I mentioned before, North Carolina Supreme Court case records. And also Supreme Court records from Georgia as well. Okay. So I'm just going to scroll back to the top. Okay, we're going to move on to American history now. I'm conscious of time, and I really want to give you a good flavour for our American history resource, as it's one of our latest flagship products. And if we click in just into this is the homepage for a start. So just a little bit of background about American history. This is the complete American history collection from the Gilder Lehrman Institute of American History. This is being published in two parts. Part one covers the years 1493 to just before the Civil War, and that's available now. So let's just click into the nature and scope. There is a lot of material. So just a little bit about part one that's available now. We will be looking at material from that just now. So this covers early settlers in America. It covers the colonial building, the British presence. It covers obviously the Revolutionary era and the new nation. But there's also a lot of slavery and, as I mentioned, abolition material in there. So I'm just going to show you one document for now. You might have noticed that, particularly when we look at the documents, the document viewer and the functionality is a lot smoother, you could say. That's because this is a much newer resource, and this is how all of our current and up to about 2013 onwards, this is how all of our resources look. And so we've got our document list filters here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just apply an African American theme filter here, and I'm just going to click View Documents. We do index all of our material with a theme, which this is a really nice way into the material for lower level undergraduates, or people who maybe aren't that far along with their research and need a starting point. That's not to say that the indexing doesn't benefit the higher level researchers as well, because we do try and publish material in as full a collection as is allowed. Okay, so I just wanted to show you the sort of breadth of material we have here. So we can see here a speech by Lincoln. We have slave censuses, accounts of abolitionist figures, accounts of plantation owners. As I'm sure you can imagine, the years 1493 to just before the Civil War is very manuscript heavy. We've really taken care of the indexing with this part one. So now I'm just going to scroll back to the top, and I'm just going to click into my personal repository here. This is my archive. It's a really simple bookshelf. If you find a document you need, you can just click one button and you'll have it saved here. So again, this is the document details page. Really extensive metadata. In our later collections, such as American History, we do include a content description for every document. So this is a really nice way in for if you want to speed up your research and you're scanning through documents, you can check the metadata in this content description to get a really good flavour for whether the document is something that you're interested in. And we do allow click-through. Some metadata fields are click-through as well. So for example, author, recipient, subjects, people. As you can see here, you can click through. I won't do that now, but then that will run a search based on that metadata entry. So let's have a look at this document. So just a bit of background about this. I found this when I was researching for this webinar, and it's a letter by a man called Frederick Douglass from Rochester, New York. Sorry. I'll make this full page. Actually, you can toggle a full page view. That's going to give you a really close-up look at the document. So a bit of background about this. This is a letter from a Mr. Frederick Douglass, who was a former slave, and this is a letter written 20 years after he escaped from ownership of middle-class merchant in the New York area, and it's Frederick Douglass later went on to become quite a prominent figure, a local abolition figure, and it's a really interesting read because it's a man sort of writing back to his former master, and he writes and checks up on the family, and it's a really nice personal manuscript document, which, you know, we have hundreds and thousands of other ones, which I urge you to go in to read. But I just wanted to show you this as well because it's a great quality document, and you can see here from the zooming, it's very easy to read. We do pride ourselves in our scan quality as well. So zoom in a little bit more if you like. Okay. So that's just one example of some of the African American sort of abolition material we have in here. There's also a lot of sort of pre-19th century slavery material in here, so we don't just confine that to slavery, abolition and social justice. We're only doing a whistle-stop tour today, but if you want to get a little more information about the exact types of material in American history, I'll be showing you how to get to that at the end. If you don't have access to this resource, all that information is available on our website, and I'll show you where to do that at the end. Okay, I'm just going to show you some of the visual resources now. Each of our newer resources does have a visual resources tab, which is great for the classroom, or just maybe a way in to inspire researchers or inspire students in the classroom. And these do have theme filters as well. So let's try African Americans. Let's click in here to the free man of the North. So we do have a drop-down menu here with all the metadata for the image. All the visual resources that you'll be able to find in this tab are available in the main documents list as well. We do keep all that together. So let's toggle the full page view again just so we can get a really good look at this. So look at some of this text down here. Do you know, I will save that one for later. I'll add that to my lightbox. Okay, so that's just a brief summary of American history. That is the slavery and abolition material that I just wanted to sort of give you a taste of. So this is popular culture in Britain and America, covering the 25-year period you can see up here. What this is a primary source collection which covers the counterculture, social protest, rock and roll world of culture in Britain and America in this 25-year period. Some really notable things that I just want to point out about this is the source of the material, particularly the social protest collection from UC Berkeley, which is a world-renowned sort of social history collection, and we also have wealth of material from Bowling Green State University as well, from their popular culture library there. So just a few themes that this resource covers, you can see here: civil liberties, the fight for women's liberation, fashion, culture, music. There's a lot of counterculture student publications in here, long runs of student magazines from UC Berkeley, from Ann Arbor, from published all over, so they do make for really entertaining reading. But we are here to focus on the civil rights material, of course. So let's head to the documents page. Let's filter our collection by civil rights and race relations. Just to give you a quick look at those themes again. You can also filter by document type and the source as well. So if you're looking for a particular collection or a particular range of documents and you know where it's from. So we've filtered our documents list down here. Okay, so let's have a look at this affirmative action document. Thumbnail viewer across the top, so we can quickly scroll through pages to get to the material we're looking for. I will be running a search in a minute, so I'll show you just how the documents react to search and what the functionality is there as well. What the Weber case is was a Supreme Court case which saw a steelworkers union in the US basically challenging an affirmative action decision, and I think this is just some literature around basically overturning the case. And there's a lot of this social protest pamphlets and protest materials. Okay, so I'm just going to head back to documents. I mentioned I was going to run a search, so let's run a search up here. Now there's some really interesting Black Panther, bit of a typo there. Some really interesting Black Panther publications in here, so let's run a search for Black Panther. Okay, so we can see here an extensive range of results. Let's pick one and see what we can find. Let's try number 2. So I'm just going to head back to the document details page just to show you something. So we ran a search of Black Panther. All of the printed material in this resource and all of the printed material in all of our resources is full text searchable. So we can see 2 hits on image 1. We can see pages 2 and 3 has got 16 hits. So if we just click in here, I'll be able to show you just how those are highlighted. So yeah, we can see here. So some highlighting where our search term appears. And you can flick between issues of certain publications as well. So I'm just going to head back to the document details page. I mentioned that a lot of instructors are using this material in classes. We do allow, just to mention here, you can download whole documents to PDF or just certain pages. We do allow any of the material in any of our collections to be downloaded for personal use or use in the classroom. That is absolutely fine, and you can do that here on the document details page, or you can click into a certain page and there is also a download to PDF option just for that singular page there. So now I'm just going to head back to our list. I just want to show you some of the video material in here as well. Okay. Now we did have a little bit of issue with the sound earlier, so in case I know a lot of people couldn't hear it earlier, our earlier webinar, so I'll do a running commentary over a couple of bits of film that I just want to show you here, just a couple of 5-6 second clips. So this material is actually sourced from the Huntley Film Archives. We do have a lot of material from the Huntley Film Archives, but also ITN, which is a news network here in the UK. So let's skip along to around here. So we can, in case you guys can't hear this, this is Malcolm X raising money at a congregation, raising donations. Okay, so let's move on, and I'm just going to show you another quick clip. And what this is. So this is protests outside Huey Newton's trial. He was obviously leader of the Black Panthers and very famously murdered a police officer. And these are the protest scenes outside his trial. So that's really just a taste of this, a small amount of the video material in here as well. And there is a dedicated tab for video as well, so you can explore just the video material in there as well. Okay. So that is popular culture. Well, that's a small touch on the material that's in popular culture. I just want to take you to the Adam Matthew homepage now. I mentioned earlier that if you don't have access to any of this, you can check the source of the material or the themes or any information. You can check sort of any of the information that you need or want to know about the collections on this collections tab here. And you can filter collections as well, because we do have a lot of resources, so maybe you need to filter by region, subject, or time period. So what I want to show you here is give you a sneak preview of a new resource we have coming out this year. So this is African American Communities. It's a primary source collection which focuses on the lives of African American people in key American cities during the 19th and 20th centuries. It's a resource which focuses on race relations, community life, with very much a city focus. So you'll be able to just see here the cities Atlanta, Chicago, St. Louis, Brooklyn, and North Carolina as a central hub as well. And we think this is a really nice follow-on resource for the wealth we have already of African American history and all the material we've shown so far. And also on our homepage, I've shown you the collections tab here. Now you can request a free trial here. I will be giving a link to the trial request email in my follow-up to this webinar. So here you can request access to anything you like, and provide access to masters or undergraduate students, unfortunately. But if you are a member of faculty or a librarian and you would like access to anything, please feel free to either contact me or go through the website and we can absolutely set that up for you. We're more than happy to do that. So I'm just going to head home, and I've just got a final... Okay, I'm sure you can... Hopefully you'll see that okay. So just to say thank you very much for attending today. I know it's time out of your schedules, and it's very much appreciated. So I'm just going to run through just a few tie-up details, and I will answer a couple of questions. Shirley, I've seen you've got a question there, so I will get straight onto that in a second. So just to highlight, we've covered these three resources today. Any questions, please feel free to email me if you think of them a little bit later. It will also be on our YouTube channel if you want to pass on the word. And just a little incentive to fill in the webinar feedback. There is a chance to win a $50 Amazon gift card. There is a caveat: if you haven't registered already, which I know a couple of people haven't, you do need to register, pre-register for that. That is still open. Do need to pre-register if you want to be in the chance to win that. Okay, I'm just going to move on to some final questions. Will there be any more material added to these collections? Good question, thanks Shirley. We do think our resources are quite a comprehensive look at an area of study, and we do bear in mind when we're selecting material, we want it to be as all-encompassing as possible. However, we have a big development team, and we do try and look at the possibilities, and we're always open to adding more material if it is appropriate. So yes, we are always open-minded about that. And are these collections cross-searchable? Yes, they are. I will just move back to my browser here. Okay, so on the Adam Matthew homepage, we have this tool called Archive Explorer. And this is effectively a discovery tool which will allow you to search across all the material across every collection that we produce. So if you're maybe researching a subject for the first time and you're maybe not sure which Adam Matthew resource to start in, this is going to be a really good starting point. And here you can see we can search either all of the material or just selected groups or selected or collections that are just held at your institution. And if you're not sure what Adam Matthew resources you have at your institution, please ask your librarian. They will be able to help you, or please get in contact with me and we can tell you, or you can request a free trial and we can check that way. So if there aren't any other questions, I hope today has given you just a taste of 3 resources which we think have a really good grounding in the study of African American history or black history. So that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed yourselves. So thank you very much, and thanks for your time today. Goodbye. All right, done. Oh. I know, I saw. Good work. Four minutes over. It's all right. I don't worry too much about time. No.